What is up, everybody? It is I, Ronin, and today we are learning how to play some pure Raidraptors. So if you don't know what Raidraptors are, they were a Arc V era deck that featured Dark Wing Beast, kinda like Blackwings did, but they were very Xyz focused, and they recently got a pretty cool Link monster. So yeah, the big thing about this deck is you overlay into things and combo off pretty well, but let's get right into the deck profile, starting with our main monsters. We have free Raidraptor Tribute Lanius, free Raidraptor Vanishing Lanius, free Raidraptor Mimicry Lanius, free Raidraptor Fuzzy Lanius, free Raidraptor Booster Strix, two Raidraptor Singing Lanius, free Raidraptor Pain Lanius, and free Raidraptor Last Strix. So starting at the top, generally speaking, you're good in this deck if you're able to go into Force Strix as your first Xyz summon, and the Tribute Lanius very much does help that because if it's during the turn it was normal or special summoned, you can send a Raidraptor monster from your deck to the graveyard, and in main phase 2 it allows you to search out some rank up spells, but we don't ever really use that effect, so we're not going to go over it here exactly. Then we have Raidraptor Vanishing Lanius, and once per turn during your main phase, if it was normal or special, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Raidraptor monster from your hand. This is a soft once per turn, should mention. So if you summon Vanishing Lanius, use its effect to summon another Vanishing Lanius, you will still be able to use the second Vanishing Lanius's effect to summon yet again. It's good for building up field presence. It's another way to go into rank 4s, so not really any reason to go without it. Now we have the thing that you send off of Tribute Lanius, Mimicry Lanius. So during the turn that it was sent to the graveyard, you can banish it, add a Raidraptor card from your deck to your hand. So this does search out pretty much our whole archetype. Not super heavy on the spell traps, but Raidraptor Nest as well as Raidraptor Call searches those extenders for us if we need them. So it's definitely a pretty good thing to have if you can get the graveyard set up. Now we have free Raidraptor Fuzzy Lanius. It can be special summoned from your hand so long as you control another Raidraptor that is not Fuzzy Lanius. And if it is sent to the graveyard, then you get to add a Fuzzy Lanius to your hand. So it is pretty good. It keeps up the consistency, gives us possible lure targets, as well as just being a special summon itself. Very cool card. Then we have Raidraptor Booster Strix, and all it says is that when a Raidraptor monster you control is targeted for an attack by an opponent's monster, you can banish it from your hand to destroy the attacking monster. It does not target, which is pretty nice, but it's also still a fairly conditional destruction effect, so not the best there either. But in pure Raidraptor, having a way to protect your boys is very good, especially if you have multiples of these, because again, not really a once per turn. And we only have two copies of Raidraptor Singing Lanius, so it can special summon itself once per turn from your hand if you control if you control a Xyz monster. So generally what you want to do is make Force Strix, use Force Strix to search Singing, and then you can special summon Singing to continue your play. So definitely some solid stuff here. You could run it at 1 if you wanted to. I chose to have it 2 just because I'm running Call. But at 1, it is also perfectly fine if you can think of something else you want to put. Sorry, putting a burp there. Put in its place. Then we have free Raidraptor Pain Lanius, level 1. And while a Raidraptor monster is on the field, you can take damage equal to that monster's attack or defense points, whichever is lower. And then you special summon this from your hand as a monster of the same level. So say you have a level 4 out, like is the most of our decks, then you could use Pain Lanius to turn this into another 4 for a potential rank 4 play if you need it. There is the downside that that it does force you to take damage. It's not a cost, so if you do activate it on 2 low life points, it's not going to stop. It is a hard once per turn though. And lastly, in the monster lineup, we have Raidraptor Last Strix. When it is a level 1, and it can special summon itself from the hand when a Raidraptor battles another monster, giving you 100 life points for each spell and trap in your field and graveyard. However, this recovery effect isn't really why we like it, so it has one very interesting skill. By tributing it, you can special summon any Raidraptor Xyz monster from your extra deck you want to in defense position. However, their effects will be negated. So what you can do with this is summon Lastrix, tribute it for the where is it? The satellite cannon, and then if you have a skip force or your graveyard is, or you have a way to set up your graveyard with like a soul shade force, then you can just go right into the big guy, who we'll go over later. So yeah, that is the monster lineup. And now we'll go right into the spells, which is free Allure of Darkness, free Rank Up Magic Soul Save Force, free Raidraptor Call, free Rank Up Magic Skip Force, 1 Upstart, 1 Foolish, and free Nest. So draw cards first. Allure of Darkness, you draw 2, banish a dark from your hand afterwards. Upstart Goblin, you give your opponent 1,000 life points for a draw. Foolish Burial is another way that we can put a Mimicry Lanius into our graveyard, as well as a few other sort of niche type purposes, but it is mostly for the Mimicry Lanius. And now for the actual Raidraptors cards, we have a Raidraptor Call, which says that if you control a Raidraptor, you can activate this card to summon another Raidraptor with the same name from your deck in defense position. However, you can only special summon Raidraptors for the rest of the turn after using this. So all of our special summons are pretty much going to be Raidraptors, so this condition doesn't really affect us. But it is nice if you bricked particularly hard and only have one monster. It does let you go into the Force Strix, which will let you get your plays. And then we have Raidraptor's Nest, a continuous spell, and once per turn, if you control 2 or more Raidraptor monsters, you can just add a Raidraptor monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So it's recovery, it's even more searching. Honestly, just really good. This deck does a lot of searching, not gonna lie to you guys. And now to finish up the main deck, we have our rank up magics in the form of Soul Shade Force and Skip Force. So we'll be going over Skip Force first because I think it's the better one. It basically lets you take a Raidraptor Xyz monster and rank it up by 2. And it has a kind of neat graveyard effect. So you can manage it and another Raidraptor to revive a Raidraptor from your graveyard. So it does let you recur your Xyz monsters as well. So that's pretty cool. And then Soul Shade Force lets you pay half your life points to target a Raidraptor Xyz in the graveyard, special summon it, and then rank it up by 2. So when you use your Force Strike for Link's material, you can have it all set up to go with the Soul Shade Force. So pretty good. Pretty decent stuff all around. This deck does a lot of spamming and stuff. Then it is all about that extra deck. So first, we'll be going over Wise Strix, the new Raidraptor Link monster. It requires 2 Dark Wing Beast monsters, which is every Raidraptor pretty much. And if it's Link summoned, you can special summon in defense a level 4 or lower Dark Wing Beast from your deck, but it cannot be used as Link material. So you got to keep that in mind. Generally, this lets you extend into possible Xyz plays, which is good because when a Xyz monster that Wise Strix is pointing to activates its effect, you can set a rank up magic directly from your deck, and if it's quick play, you can activate it that turn. So we will go over kind of the combo and the replays, but yeah, it's very good, and we'll get into that later. Now for our one non-Raidraptor monster, it's Zephyr Metaltron. It just requires 2 or more monsters summoned from the extra deck. It doesn't ever super come up that we need to use this, but it does give the deck a little bit more recoverability because it lets all your extra deck monsters that it points to float. It's very good. You can't really make it turn 1, unfortunately, if you use the Fuzzy Lanius because it does lock you into Raidraptors. But it is a very nice turn, like 3 or 4 option, depending on how you went. But yeah, it's 3 downward facing arrows. It protects extra deck monsters. It's pretty good. Now for the bread and butter of this deck, the Xyz monsters, starting with 3 Raidraptor Force Strike. So it requires 2 level 4s. Gains 500 attack and defense for each wing beast monster you control other than itself, and by detaching 1 material, you can add a level 4 lower dark wing beast or add a level 4 Dark Wing Beast from your deck to your hand. I'm not sure why, I always read that as level 4 or lower, but yeah. So basically you'll search our booster tricks, generally speaking. It can search the Fuzzy Lanius, it can search the Singing Lanius. Mimicry is always more. Pain Lanius can't really be searched, but it's there. So it's, generally speaking, you want to be able to make this guy as much as possible. So stick with it. Now for our other rank 4, we have 1 Raidraptor Blade Burner Falcon. It requires 2 level 4 Wing Beast monsters. Again, very easy for us. And if it's Xyz summoned and your opponent's life points are at least 3,000 higher than yours, it gains 3,000 attack. And when it destroys opponent's monster by battle, you can attach any number of Xyz from it to destroy that main number of cards your opponent controls. So, it's just a really good recovery card. It's great for making a comeback if you need to. Hopefully you don't need to, but sometimes you might. You can never plan for anything, but it's perfectly fine to have it at 1, I would say, just in case. Now we have 2 copies of Raidraptor Revolution Falcon. It detaches the Xyz material from itself to attack all monsters your opponent controls, and if that monster was special summoned before damage calculation, that opponent's monster is dropped to 0. This is when he's being attacked or attacking, so he does make for a fairly good defensive card as well. And also, it does have a slight burn effect, but that never really comes up. It just says that once per turn, you can target a monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the attack that monster had on the field. So it's not terrible. It's a very good beatdowny type card and board wipey type thing, but it's pretty good. And we have this, another OCG card, the Retrain of Revolution Falcon. It has the same summoning requirements, which is a rank up spell. And when it is Xyz summoned, you can pop something on your opponent's field and burn them for that monster's attack points. And it can also be summoned by discarding a rank up magic. So say your Soul Shape Force is not doing much for you, you can rank it up. But the really cool thing it does, okay, this is the very interesting thing. It floats into regular Revolution Falcon. So, assuming your opponent has a large body, you just have this on the field, you can crash it, go into Revolution Falcon, beat it over. So, pretty solid stuff. It is OCG only, though, so keep that in mind. As far as our last 2 extra deck cards, we have Raidraptor Satellite Cannon Falcon and the Ultimate Falcon. So, Satellite Cannon, I'm not really going to go over because we don't really use it so much as a stepping stone to get to Ultimate Falcon when we need to. So, we're going to go over Ultimate Falcon instead. So first up, you do summon it with a rank up. I don't know how else you would. It's a rank 10, 3,500 attack, 2,000 defense. It is unaffected by other card effects, and by detaching 1 Xyz material from itself, it forces all of your opponent's monsters to lose 1,000 attack and defense. And once per turn during the end phase, it lets you, again, lose another 1,000 attack and defense from your monsters, but also burns your opponent for 1,000. So, honestly, it's bird towers. It's hard for a lot of decks to deal with, though it has become easier with the release of things like Avramax and stuff like that. But yeah, great card. Always run it at 1 if you can. And now for the side deck. Honestly, not much interesting going on here. I really need to work on my side decking skills. But yeah, so we have 3 Heavy Storm for alternate spell trap removal. 3 Twin for even more spell trap removal. 3 Call by the Grave in case our opponent plays a lot of hand traps or graveyard setup type stuff. 1 Dark Hole because it's a board wipe and Mystic Mine is scary. 2 Decode as a alternate link free you can try to go for. And 3 Radiant because it is a kaiju that is dark attribute and is thus a target for lure. So, yeah, that's the deck. It's pretty combo heavy. I did enjoy playing it a lot, and we'll see that in the replays, hopefully. But yeah, if you're new here, we just watch a few replays. Say we have I think I got 4, I might cut down to 3, I'm not sure. Actually, no, we'll probably just do 3, but yeah. Yeah, I talked about the deck, sort of my own thoughts on it, things that I think it can be done better with as we're going over the replays. So, yeah. That all being said, I'll see you guys in the replays. Okay, welcome to the first replay with a Salomon Great player. We are the word. Bird is the word, if you don't know that little reference. But, that was a cool song. But yeah, we opened up pretty well here, actually. However, our opponent has also opened up with a fair bit of spice going here. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. So he's going to make some standard Salomon great plays. Ascend things, search things. Now here, I was a little... Well, actually, I did need to put the Veilings in the graveyard, so that's fine. So yeah, the Mole, though, interesting choice. I don't see it used much. Now, this is what was confusing to me. I don't know why he didn't just activate Sanctuary to Reincarnation Link and not lose the Mole. Oh, wait, the Mole has a graveyard effect, doesn't it? Mash it from inventory 5 Solomon Great cards in your grave, shuffle them in the deck, then draw. Okay, so yeah. That actually does make sense. So he has a twin set. Sanctuary is activated. So, as far as Salomon Great goes, I'd say this is a fairly good board. You have some disruptions with the twin. The Roar is out, so if you don't get Kaiju'd, you're fine. Plus an Ash Blossom. So, yeah, not much else you could ask for here, except for like that Twin Twister being a rage, I think. So yeah, now we are up. We are going to try to bait some things out. Bait the Ash first. Nest. Use. And this is where Call is helpful because we didn't have a proper way to make a rank 4. So by just having one level 4 plus Call, it is a rank 4. So it's pretty good. And double Mimicry, also awesome. So yeah, but we do have 2 Raidraptors now. So we can use the Nest effect, but we decided to go Force Strike first. He does Roar the Force Strikes. But it's fine, because Mimicry Lanius was sent to the graveyard. We get a search for the Fuzzy, as well as already having a Soul-Shaped Force ready to go. And that is actually a cool thing about Raidraptors that I learned. I did not figure this out myself, someone told me about it, so credit to them, I don't remember their name. But, you see, when you're going for Raidraptors, even if you want to make the Link Monster, which is a... We can't see it, apparently, but you always go for the Force Strix first. That way you set yourself up for a Soul-Shaped Force, assuming that the Link Monster can come out. So we're going to just rank up into Revolution. Summon the Fuzzy. Honestly, kind of a misplay on my part. But yeah, I shouldn't have summoned Fuzzy there. I really shouldn't have. Yeah, so we have outed his board pretty well. We did get a search at main phase 2 because of Nest, where we have 2 Raidraptor monsters. And we grabbed the Booster Strix to protect our boys. So, that's going to be our turn. Moving on to our opponent. He is playing Salomon Great, so recovery is going to be big here. Like, he pretty much just re-has full combo. He will be spinning back our Nest, Reincarnation linking to get the Roar back. Then he is going to battle. We want to get a few life points. Because our Salomon Great did battle, we could get the last Strix on board, at least to gain some stuff back. And I don't think he realized that Revolution Falcon's effect also applied when being attacked, so... yeah, that's just a lesson in reading. You know, we did eliminate a Veiling set, which is kind of nice, and we're going to keep making plays here. So we get another Nest, which is pretty good. I'm trying to avoid the Roar. Here was my own misplay, because I didn't realize that the attack reduction was, like, mandatory even if your opponent had 0 attack, so did learn that. That's pretty neat. So we get roared. The roar is out of the way, so that's what matters. Now we'll proceed to combo off. Fuzzy Lanius got us another Fuzzy. We had yet to use our normal summon this turn, so we could get the Tribute Lanius, as well as summoning the Booster Strix from deck, because we don't really have much else use for it. Necro Vulture is going to send Mimicry, but then it's going to get ashed, unfortunately. But we can still continue by searching Singing, and we were able to set a Skip Force because of the Y Strix ability. Our Force Strix activated its effect in a zone it points to. We did go ahead and summon that, so that is a thing. So Fuzzy special summon itself for another Force Strix. Another Force Strix gives us another Booster Strix. So, not a terrible board here. We definitely could have gone a little further with the Skip Force and stuff, but you know what, that's fine. So he does get the Signet Mighting, dead card at the moment. He's going to shuffle back our double, and he's going to go ahead and pass turn because he doesn't, I guess he did read Booster Strix, so he knows not to just attack willy-nilly. Oh, hey, that's for my D&D session later tonight, so that'll be fun. Oh yeah, and we're getting more messages. So yeah, we're just gonna keep playing this while this is happening. So we did draw a skip force, so we're gonna rank up into the air raid. The air raid, uh, 1 second, I shall be back. Alright, sorry about that, we're back. I just had to mess with my Discord notifications. So going back to it, the air raid I think was the correct play here because it does let us get the Veilinks out of the graveyard. Because on summon I will be attempting to pop the Heat Leo. But however, I could have closed the game out here had I instead gone for Revolution Falcon. So both plays work, I think. But yeah, we get another one for the Soul Shave. He's gonna go ahead and Twin Twister us. So yeah, battle phase, we destroy that. We get to float into Revolution. Revolution will kill it. Again, I made a very big misplay there. So Foolish for the Spinny, attacking the Wise Strix, and there he forfeits. I did not protect the Wise Strix because I know if the Jaguar went back to the graveyard, he would just regain his ability to potentially make plays. So yeah, that was game one. Pretty decent Salomon, great player, I would say. But the deck kind of just went off, played through a few things. But yeah, so that was the first replay, just kind of showing what the deck can do when it's going. So the next game is going to be showing like what the deck struggles with. This will be the deck struggle in this next replay. I'll see you guys there. Okay, welcome to the second game or replay, not game replay, with another player. We're going up against Traptrix here, and he is going first. So again, this is going to show you sort of my primary issue with the deck. So he is going to go first and set up pretty well. Mermello introduces the bottomless, set 5 for Sarah. Pretty standard Traptrix plays. So at this point, I am worried about that bottomless, but I figured it's probably fine since the majority of my monsters, at least to a point, are not going to have 1500 or more attack points. So here I felt pretty safe just sort of comboing off and going into like a 4 Strix at least. So there's the Vanishing Lanius effect to get a bunch of summons. And then Artifact Sanctum happens. So you see, this deck, the big problem with it is essentially that it is just, your main deck monsters are just engines to get to your extra deck monsters. So if you're locked out of the extra deck, there really is not much in terms of substantial plays you can make. So Scythe is a absolute killer for this deck. So at this point we just tried to make a bit of a wall. Baited out the Heavy Storm. He got to Impermanence, unfortunately. Setting another Sanctum, so that's another turn we will not be able to access our extra deck. And our board's getting blown out. He goes for the Abyss Dweller. Fair enough play, fair enough play. And then we have the Impermanence set as well. So, yeah, so we go back in here. We go ahead and draw. We have a normal summon potentially. We unfortunately activated in the same column as the Impermanence. Oh, that was really bad. That was really bad and dumb. So yeah, we're getting negated. Fuzzy Lanius lost his abilities. Sarah gets a Trap Trick. And there's a Morale Tech coming down, popping our Fuzzy. And at this point, we just don't have what we need to survive, really. We do not die this turn, but we come awfully close. Oh, there's a phone notice. So our only hope here, yeah, so what happened here was I couldn't activate Call because we had no more fuzzies in deck. But yeah, so I was trying to sort of set that as possibly a bluff. Yeah, but then we're just going to take game here to the face. And there we go, that's game. So, yeah, this deck is just a way to get to the extra deck. So, it is definitely a problem with stuff like artifacts and anything that would slow down sort of how many monsters you could summon. So that's the big problem with the deck. But yeah, so we're going to have one more replay where we're just going to show a wacky turn 1 play this deck can do. Because generally speaking, we have been going second. I did design this deck with going second primarily in mind just because it's a lot easier for me to sort of comprehend a going second deck, I guess. But yeah, but next game will be the dumbest turn 1 play. I'll see you guys there. Alright guys, welcome to the final game. We are going first with another player. He's playing a guard dragon. It's kind of just like a weird Crusadia guard dragon. But yeah, so this game we're showing the dumbest turn one play. So we opened up Y Strix plus Skip Force, which is all you really need for this to do. So we go ahead and lure first, banish that. Now we're gonna Skip Force into the ulti Falco. That's all we did. We did end up going -2, unfortunately. We did that. However, we have a bird towers, which a lot of decks have trouble dealing with, as well as a way to recur it because the skip forces effect, which will come up later. However, this card is not invincible. It can be beat over. And you're about to see it. Yeah, this is Crusadia. Of course they can beat it over. But you're going to see something a little bit more generic come down. So he's doing Crusadia plays, Crusadia Guard Dragon plays, very exciting stuff. So he's going to be getting the Brotor. Brotor targets itself to search I think he searched the World Crown. Yeah, but yeah, so he's just sort of comboing out. Made the monster negate, summoning the LP. Or is that the Pisky? Yeah, this is the Pitsy. But the Pisky is going to be getting back the Red MD. He's going off. He's going to summon a Red Hot from the extra deck. And here we go. See, this card just wins. There's, so long as it's battling a monster, a special summon, it actually will never lose. So yeah, he's just going to attack over. We take the 3,000. And we are at a very desperate spot here. So he does summon that extra monster negate, which is annoying. Okay, so... Alright, so from here, we kind of have two routes we can go. We could Necro Vulture, or not Necro. We could tribute Lanius, send a Mimicry, and then just search Fuzzy, make another rank 4, kind of go from place to there. Or, fearing interruption, as I was, we can just use Skip Force's effect to bring back our ulti Falcon. So we're doing it, banishing the satellite cannon to bring back ulti attacking over that, Brotor coming out because of his effect. And there we go. So bird towers recurs. We do lose this one though, unfortunately. So yeah, those were the replays that I think were very good. But honestly, I love this deck. It was a lot of fun to play it. I liked learning the combos. I liked the fact that it just has so much searching. I thought it was very cool. The one problem with it is, in the modern game, even with Y Strix, as a pure build, it's just become so easy to out all of their problem cards for your opponent. Like example, Ultimate Falcon. Now Abramax is a generic thing most people can run. So it's just like you really have to watch out when you use this deck. You really do, because it is fairly... It's just not too good for this format. But you know what? Let me know what you guys think of the deck. Could I have done anything better, worse, etc., so forth? And if there's any decks or deck ideas you want me to try, like, I'm more than willing to try them. So, yeah, that being said, like if you liked, comment if you have something to say, and subscribe if you want some more. This has been Ronin, signing off.